Welcome to the Mediocre Black Woman Podcast. Ew. Every journey toward visibility starts the same way, with a quiet knowing, a nudge from spirit, and a decision to see yourself more clearly. This is a podcast about the things we move through as we learn to be seen. Visibility with God, visibility with ourselves, and eventually visibility with others. Not just publicly, but intimately, spiritually, and honestly. Here, visibility isn't about the performance or perfection. It's about being human, resting, desiring, changing, and answering the call in your own way. I'm your host, Empress Theodora, and this is a space for exploring visibility that's seen, simple, sustainable, sovereign, without losing rest or humanity. Pulled by spirit, dragged through the lessons, still divine. Welcome to the house, y'all. So, we are doing something different, and I am so excited about that. So, we are starting to now add our readings to the podcast feed because that is my effort to become more simple and more sustainable, child. Like, it makes no sense to try to do an episode and a reading in the same week. That's crazy. And I've been doing that this whole time because I'm crazy. Just a little bit. So what we're going to do instead is start adding the readings to the feed. So what that means is today we are doing our Aquarius new moon solar eclipse read. So for those of you who are not familiar yet with these, and you're hearing it for the first time, during the new moon, I tend to do a very specific spread that I created, which is called the Threat to the Script spread. The Threat to the Script spread is about where you're disrupting patterns, where you're, breaking outdated norms, roles, things like that. Especially because, new moon is typically about planting like new seeds, things like that. So I like to do something like that during this time where you're like, I want to break this outdated thing that I've been doing. And what about me already threatens the script that I just need to lean into a little bit more, So we're going to talk about that. But first, how I always start these is by talking about the qualities of this particular whatever energy we're in. So let's talk about the qualities of the Aquarius new moon solar eclipse and the beginning of eclipse season. Yes. So my notes on this moon. This isn't just a new moon. It's a solar eclipse, which means accelerated beginnings, faded resets, and identity upgrades. Partner, let me upgrade ya. Let me upgrade ya. Anyway, so about identity upgrades. In Aquarius, the focus is community, collective vision, innovation, independence, the future, and breaking outdated systems. So this energy is not emotional per se and watery, but it's intellectual, it's electric, it's forward moving. It's electric. Do, 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 do. Okay. And Aquarius asks us, where have I outgrown old rules? Oh, excuse me. Well, yes, old rules, but I was trying to say, where have I outgrown old roles, particularly? What future am I ready to claim? What system no longer works for me? And what kind of community do I actually want to build or belong to? Okay? And a solar eclipse here can bring sudden clarity, clean endings, unexpected shifts in friendships or networks, a stronger urge toward independence, a desire to do things differently. And this is about detaching from approval and aligning with vision. So it's less, how does everyone feel about this? It's less about consensus, how does everyone feel about this? And it's more about, this is the direction I'm going because it feels aligned, right? Okay. All right. So with that in mind, let's do, I don't know what I'm on today. So I'm a new moon, like cycle haver, like I believe during the new moon. And I feel like my energy has been like a roller coaster today. Like I started off tired and just kind of sluggish. And then as the day picked up, I just got all this energy. I cleaned my whole house. I did everything I needed to do. And now I'm here reading for you guys because I can't really read in a dirty house. I mean, not that it was dirty, but just, clothes needed to be washed. Dishes needed to be done. That's it, nothing crazy. But I can't do that when there's clutter of any kind. It just throws me off, you know? Okay, so let's do the thread to the script spread now. Okay. Let's also put my music back on a little bit higher because Tevin's back there singing and we can't hear him. I had again, just us two until the end. Okay, that's Alone With You if you don't know the song. So let's start with the thread to the script spread. So I'm gonna pull from My Heartstrings Oracle. My Heartstrings Oracle is an oracle I made personally by hand. It has music lyrics. It has the archetypes of the tarot in here. It has numbers for specific deities in here. It has the chakras. It has the signs. It's a mixed bag. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna find inside. Yes, that is the set. Like I said, we on one today, so just roll with me. I have energy and it's coming out in weird ways, so just roll with it. I'm a little crazy, as you will find out, but just a little. Okay, so let's do this. The first position that we're pulling for, oh, this is my song. I'm gonna say that about every song that comes on, just so y'all know, but I really do like this song. See, my brain is tweaking now. It's called Sexify. Okay, so the first position of the spread is the script. What expectations, narrative, role, or identity is no longer aligned? Okay. In the middle of the day, and that's guaranteed. I'll sexify you. Have your friends thinking, boy, man, there ain't no way, and that's guaranteed. Okay, so the script. Okay, that's an interesting first card. Okay, and then the disruption. The disruption. Oh wow, what about you threatens that script? Okay, I'm gonna pull and then I'm gonna tell y'all what they say. So I'm like, these are some interesting first. Like, these are interesting. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. With the bad me eyes and get no confidence, and that's guaranteed. Okay, this is such a wild ass pull today. Okay, I'm just kind of like, Okay, position 4, the resistance. Where have you been shrinking, silencing, or shapeshifting? I don't know, based on this spread, I don't know if you have. Shit, I'm just like, what is all this coming out? Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting energy today. The rewrite. What are you? Who are you when you choose yourself anyway? Okay. In your tongue, girl. Drank some hanky-panky. Sexy versus skanky. Ooh. Na, 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 na. Next song. Oh, yes. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow. The rewrites. Oh, my car is trying to just fall out. The rewrites. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but we about to find out. Shit. Okay. This is a wild ass spread for the solar. I should expect nothing less for a solar eclipse, huh? Eclipse energy is funky as fuck. I'm talking to myself now. Just deal with it. Okay, let's see. Damn, this is a wild spread. Okay, this is nasty, but not at the same time. It's weird. Okay, So it just gets weirder and weirder throughout this spread. Okay. So the script. What expectations, narrative, role, or identity is no longer aligned? So what came up is the number 8. And it's like purity, calm, higher self, wisdom, creativity, justice, light. Like it's all like higher self shit. You know? I feel like this is wild to say. I don't know. Okay, so I feel like what I'm hearing is like the narrative that you're, or the role or the identity that's no longer aligned is like you always taking the high road. Now, hear me out. That doesn't mean you acting an ass or nothing like that, or you like wilding out. But what I'm hearing is like you're not always bringing people to the carpet or calling people to the carpet. Like when there's an issue or an elephant in the room, you're not always addressing it first anymore. You're letting people like meet you halfway. Like that's the expectation, the narrative, or the role, or the identity that's no longer aligned for you. You know, you don't want to just be the person calling people to the carpet. You want people to also want to call you to the carpet to salvage a relationship. You know, so I feel like that's still higher self shit, but that's how it's coming through. It's like you're not you're not always taking the highest road, okay? And that's not a bad thing, like all the time. Like sometimes you do gotta let people meet you so that you can see, like, okay, am I gonna be the one always trying to strive to repair something or to like fix something, you know? So that's the expectation, the narrative, or the role that you're no longer the wise friend. I mean, you still the wise friend because this is very wise energy here to like pull back some, but like you're dropping the role of like I'm Mr. Fix It. Like your higher self is like, girl, we got other things to focus on, and if it's really worth it, then you all will figure it out somehow. But you don't have to be the one to always figure it out. You're not the cleanup woman no more, you know? The cleanup woman is the woman who, you know, takes all the love you girls leave behind. You know, it's not that. We're not doing that cleanup stuff no more. And then the disruption. That's why I said this is some wild energy. So what about you threatens the script? So it's the Knight of Cups, and the song is Get Off That Don Julio, Actifulio. So it's intoxicated decisions, volatile expression, heart I love. Like, again, not saying that this is toxic. Like, you're not being toxic with it. But what I feel is that, again, you're no longer being the, like, calm, higher self consulting. Like, you and your higher self are still in alignment, but you're just being, like, honest. Like, you're being direct about things. And, again, you just say it like it is, which is, like, I think that's not what people are used to. And the funny thing about it is, though, is that's actually who you really are. You just temper it a lot. And people don't know that about you, is what I'm hearing. I feel like this is so wild to get during Aquarius season, like where it's supposed to be a sign that's a little detached. This wild ass energy to get. Like, that's why I'm like, this is an interesting spread. Okay, now the truth coming up. What truths want to be spoken, owned, or live right now? So I got 4 of Cups here. My love is deeper, tighter, sweeter, higher, flyer. My love is deeper, tighter, sweeter, higher, flyer. Didn't you know this? Okay? Or didn't you notice? So what I wrote on this card is you're unimpressed because you've outgrown what's being offered. And it's the throat chakra. I speak. So like the Knight of Cups right before this was the heart chakra. I love. So it's like you're speaking from your heart now. You're just saying it how it is. And I don't know. I'm wondering if people are going to miss the higher the higher self you that filters through a lot of things, or I really feel like people might start to embrace the real you more. So say it with your chest, but also like we're responsible for, you know, our words and our actions, so bear that in mind too. That's why I said this is wild energy, because I feel like whoever resonates with this is used to being the even one, the one that thinks everything through before they say it, and the one that brings everybody to the table when amends need to be made. But you ain't on that shit right now. You want to get off that John Julio and act a Julio. That's what I'm getting from this spread. This is so funny. Okay, and then the resistance. Where have you been shrinking, silencing, or shapeshifting? It's Scorpio. It's water, emotions, depth, transformation, truth. There's a lot under you. And then also Scorpio's traditional ruler is Mars, and Mars is also rules Aries, mind y'all, okay? And Pluto is Scorpio's traditional ruler. So like there's desire, there's power, death, rebirth, alchemy, intensity, shadow, control, renewal. So like there's a massive depth that people don't know how much you restrain yourself on a daily basis. Like to have that Mars energy popping out, Mars is the god of war, y'all. Like Mars is with the shits, you know? And so the fact that you restrain yourself every day and you're calm enough to like think things through first, but just before just blowing up something or before just breaking it all down. This is driving me crazy. Why is my ring keep getting... So I don't like pointy ones because then they always look like they're off center. Sorry, talking about my nose ring. But yeah, so they're not used to... They don't know the level of depth. They don't know what you got brewing under the surface. Like they have no idea how much you restrain yourself every day. If you wanna stay, it's sinking it slow, baby. I'm just saying. Okay, the rewrite. Who are you when you choose yourself anyway? And the card that came out is the Devil. And the lyric is, I know I brought it on myself. I owe no blame to no one else. I can't get over you. Can't get over you. I was trying to remember. That's Frankie Beverly and Mace. Okay. So desire clouds judgment. Acknowledge the pull without feeding it. So again, who you are when you choose yourself anyway. You're someone who does take accountability. You're someone who does know. But you have a deeper side to you about this, you know? Like, when you are who you really are anyway, you acknowledge the pull, you acknowledge what's happening without totally feeding it. Like, you're rooted. The root chakra is on here. I am. You're grounded, you know? Because there's balance now, right? So I'm not saying that, like, you're totally avoiding the high road, right? But you're not always the one initiating the walk down it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So when you do that, you are more rooted because you're more balanced, because you're not the only one giving here. And you're not the only one calling somebody to the table, you know? Turn it up now. The blessing. So, again, this is a wild pull. So it's Toni Braxton, you know, I Get So High. And the lyric in particular is, I always think of you inside of my private thoughts. So I have desire building, I have fantasy energy, heart, I love. Like, I feel like it's very expressive energy. Like, you're very, like, alive, you're doing things you love. You know, you're able to have room for your own private thoughts, your own desires, you know? And as an honorable mention, because I have multiple versions of the same card in here, just different lyrics. So the Devil came out again at the bottom, which was, you whip it down on all occasions. I fuck the sense about your bank. That's Anderson .Paak. But pleasure, indulgence, temptation, root, I am. So again, you're grounded when you choose yourself anyway, you know? This is a wild spread. Like, my cards are wild. But this was a wild combination of the cards. I'll just say that. So, this is so wild to, like, you still, you know, high-minded. You still wise. But it's almost like you're succumbing to some of your lower, like, lower-minded behaviors and thoughts. But it's still not, though, because you're just, like, tempering how much you pour in, right? And so this is where I feel like it goes back to some of the themes of Aquarius itself, this particular solar eclipse itself, around, you know, where have I outgrown old roles? What future am I ready to claim? What system no longer works for me? Like you no longer operate in a system that's unbalanced, you know? You want to be in relationships that are equally high-minded. And sometimes you want to be the one that's like, you know, not like calling everybody to like the table, you know? And then what kind of community do I actually want to belong to or build, right? You want a reciprocal community. You want, you know, you want to be in a community where you could speak your truth, you know? And it's interesting. His energy is here of like people not really knowing like what you really got going on under the surface. So let's cheers to be like, look, right underneath the final devil card was the Ace of Wands. I need passion like fire, leave it smoking. Like people haven't really gotten to witness your fire. And remember, Aries is a fire sign and Mars is ruler of Aries. And also the sun just came out too, right underneath that. So yeah, there's something about tapping into your fire more. Yeah, definitely more into your fire. Yeah, I need passion like fire, leave it smoking, Yeah, that's what you need in this season. You need to just give into some of those lower minded. It's not even lower minded. Again, when you're tempering your energy and deciding where you place it and who gets access to it and when you want to call people in or when you want to be the one that takes, you know, moves it forward, that's okay. You know? And this is not for the people who are like, oh, I'm always the one. And you know you're really not always the one to like settle the conflicts or to address them head on. This is not for you. This is for those people that are always the adults in the room or in the relationship and brings people to the carpet. You know who you are. Who's always choosing their higher minded things over some of their lower minded. Sometimes you need to give into your lower minded stuff just a little bit. Like your, I don't like calling it lower minded, but like your primal urges. That's what I'm speaking to. Like just say the thing sometimes, you know? And you can say it with love, you know, there's a way to do that, but I think that takes practice because you haven't been doing that. You've been kind of circling without saying the thing, right? That's so funny to get that during this type of this signs moon. It's been a while since you met someone original. That's what that goes back with the read too. Like you haven't been original in a while. It's a shame. I'm just saying, you haven't been fully yourself. And I think people might need to see that. There is depth underneath that Scorpio, Mars, Pluto energy here. There's a strong desire. Also, Scorpio is associated with the death card in the tarot. So you need to release always trying to look like you know, you got it all together. Sometimes you need to be the unhinged one. Say the unhinged thing. But do that at your own risk. Don't come back and be like, oh, Theodora said. No. Empress Theodora said, you know who you are. You know if you're the one always doing these things. Because some of y'all will take this message and be like, oh, this is for me. I'm always the one. And no, you're not. You're not always the one that's always doing everything to like bring everybody to the table. You're not the mediator. You're not the wise friend. You're not the friend that people go to for their stuff. Like, no, it's not you. It's probably the friend that you always go to, right? So don't take this message, again, take it the way that it's supposed to be taken, okay? And if you're the friend or the partner or the family member on the other end of this, I would say, like, it's your turn to call that person to the carpet and sit down and have whatever discussions need to be had, you know? Relationships are two-way. Okay. That's, yeah. We see who winning. We see who got it. I feel like if there's anything else I want to say. Yeah, well, this was a wild one. That's all I really have to say about it. This is a wild spread. Hold on, let me see if there's anything else I want to say. I guess I would also expect that with this with this energy, expect like curveballs, you know? Which I feel like this read to me was like curveballs. Because I was like, y'all really telling me to tell this? Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else I might want to share around this, but expect curveballs. Because yeah, that one was definitely a curveball. I think that's all I want to tell y'all about this. But again, maybe sit down and assess where you have outgrown old roles, what future you're ready to claim, what systems no longer work for you, and what kind of community do you actually want to build or belong to. And that'll determine where you need to start having some of those conversations at. So that's what I got. This is so funny. This is such a funny spread. Okay. It's not something I would normally tell y'all to do, but this is what Spirit is saying. And the cards are saying it. Okay. Well, as you move through your day, take with you whatever landed. Let what didn't resonate fall away. Remember, visibility doesn't require you to abandon yourself. You don't have to rush the process, explain your becoming, or perform your growth. Be seen with spirit. Be honest with yourself. Be gentle in how you show up with others. You're allowed to move at your own pace. You're allowed to move at your own speed. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to change. Pull by spirit. Drag through the lessons. Still divine. I'll meet you back here in the house. Bye.